Hello YouTube. I thought I'd take you along on a garden tour this year. I know it's late in the season, but better late than never, I say. I'm going to start off here with the Calendula I have growing and Mr. Bumblebee. Hello. I'm really happy I planted these this year. The bees have loved them, and I haven't done anything with them except for gathering seeds for next year. Beside it, I have some zinnias. I've got kale growing in a pot over here. I've got my nice big rosemary growing. I'm gonna have to overwinter that in the garage because it gets way too cold here. It'll die if I leave it out. Down here I've got some onions beside my potted lavender there. And here is a first year test of a wicking barrel. Not that hard to make. I did need some help cutting it in half. And you can see here that I have used the popular liner that gardeners are putting into their gardens to keep weeds down. That's that weed cloth, the woven stuff. It has worked beautifully as a liner for this. In here I have tomatoes. Lots and lots of tomatoes. It's just crazy how much this plant is putting out. The variety here is where's the camera? Here we go. Firecracker. I will be collecting seeds. I hope this is a true seed and not a hybrid. And on this side here, give my shoddy camera work here, is a yellow variety. That's it right there, yellow pear. And I haven't tasted one yet. These are taking a very long time to ripen up. And I will grow it again for sure, but I'll have to start the seeds earlier, I think. The ones I collect anyway. I've been putting my herbs in pots here, and I've got some thyme here, and it's doing beautifully. I really like using sunken pots in the garden. Helps keep the plant free from weeds, and if I have to do anything in the area, I can just pull the pot and do what I need to do and put the pot right back in again. I did the same over here for my sage. Right there. Oh, where's the pot? There it is. It's hard to see. It's a little dark down there. And the sage absolutely loved it. Right. Over to my main garden here. This is where I had all my garlic this year. It worked out beautifully. And what I've done to help the soil along is the other day I made some applesauce. So what I did is I put all the peelings and the cores down in here. I've got really hard soil here, so this hopefully will help encourage the worms to go through this and work it for me. Got some onions over here, got some kale, and over here are my collards. Beside that, I've got sugar pumpkin. Let's see if I can see it here. Yep, there's one right there. And then there's another one right there. I hope there's still enough time in the season for those to get a little bigger and ripen up. Over here, more zinnias. I really wanted to encourage pollinators in the garden, and that's why I left my broccoli, letting it go to seed. It's covered in bees. They just love it. Here I have my indigo rose. I have not had anything off this plant yet, unfortunately. They're taking their very sweet time to get ripe, but I'm hopeful. And scoot around here. I tried I believe it's called the California method of tying up your tomatoes, where you just weave a string down the line between the plants. It kind of worked. I think I waited too long to plant my tomatoes for sure, because many of them never took off. And what I planted between them are onions, and I'm really happy about these because I started these from seed. I followed Luke from MI Gardener, and I'm calling it a success because I've never done it before. I've got some onions here, which there we go. I've got some onions here, and I think I might have planted them a bit too deep than I was supposed to, but I will harvest those and preserve those as best I can. And then over here are my pots. In this area I did use the landscaping fabric to keep this area free and clear of weeds, which it is famous for, and even there by the fence. It's hard getting back there to weed, so I'm glad I did it. And then on here, these are the beans I'm letting go to seed. They're just the standard pole beans, but I really like the shape of them. I enjoy having them when they're small, bigger than this, of course, right? And I've got a few plants, and I planted them with tomatoes. I don't think they particularly like the spot because they didn't get a whole lot of sun. I did get some tomatoes, and that's the state of affair of tomatoes in my zone. They are just not ripening up at all this year. In this pot here I had potatoes. Harvested them long ago, and I threw down an extra tomato plant I had just in a pot. The aphids this year, I'm going to try to zoom in here for you, are absolutely crazy. Look at them all. Oh. But that's just how it is here. This is another wicking tub with my liner. Yeah, it worked out great. In the pot in front of it, I attempted butternut squash. On this side here are the 898. These are a mini squash, butternut squash, I got seed for. And didn't work out too well. I think I'm going to try putting it into this thing next time, just to give it more space for its roots. And then on the other side here is just a standard butternut squash. I did have one, but there it is. It's unfortunate. We just barely have a long enough growing season for this, but it's been so cold this year here that it just never started out right, and then it got really hot, so it didn't put out any flowers, any fruiting flowers. And then we were held back there, so I don't know, we'll give it another try. I'm determined to get butternut squash. On the back fence here, all the raspberries. We've been really enjoying these this year. And that's where I'll close off. Thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe. I don't put out a lot of videos, obviously, but if you do have a few minutes to watch, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.